I know that believing my thoughts, believing my stories about reality caused my suffering, then I know that when I let those go, then in the absence of that is peace and happiness. It's not in reality, it's not in an outcome. So now the question becomes, okay, what's the process where I can get from disconnection to connection? And I call that inquiry, or my version of it that I've kind of adopted over the last 4 years is integrated inquiry, that uses a baseline understanding of trauma, a progressive approach of working with thoughts and emotions in the body, and then a direct line of questioning that works with the core identity of who am I? So typically, if you're new to this work, I'll start with thoughts and emotions and use that to trace yourself back to your being, to your awareness, which awareness itself never holds anything. It's never agitated by our experience. It's like the TV screen to a movie. The movie could have bombs going off. And does the screen care? Does the screen mind? No. So that's where inquiry ends. When we almost discover all of the beliefs and emotions in the way of our being, and the light of our being shines through, it washes away the stress and the suffering. And a lot of times that results in tears or some sort of release or even sweating. So some of the questions that I ask, the first thing that I do is, if I notice stress, I completely remove any sense of cause and effect. So instead of saying, oh, this person is causing this because of blank and blank, and go to past, I just find the sensation in my body. And now it's more of a wordless process. But at first it was really like looking at the part of my mind that wants to blame this on someone, and then letting that be put aside for a moment. But I take it out of time, really. This was not caused by anything. This is just here right now. And I'm going to investigate and see if this is a threat to me right now. So that's the first thing. Let me investigate if the sensation itself is a threat. If I need to run from this, if I need to do something about it, because that moment is our entire life. If I run away from it, well, I might have been doing that for the last 30 years. And that could look like smoking, drinking, social media scrolling. And I could watch my whole life of habits play out. You know, my lack of sleep, my disconnection. So that's the very important moment. And it does require, to a certain degree in the beginning, a type of, not a huge fan of the word discipline, but a type of spiritual discipline to go in the opposite direction of what you've been conditioned to go in. So in that moment, it's okay. Let's say there's something arising in my solar plexus. I'll put my hands there. I'll close my eyes and I'll just give the area my attention, really with no agenda. I don't need to get rid of you. In fact, I need to be so comfortable with you that I'm okay with you never leaving me. That's the degree of acceptance I need to get to with the sensation. This can stay. So I might just ask a couple questions. Am I in danger? Is this destroying me? Is this annihilating me? And in that, getting really close to it, typically what happens is it starts to open and move. And then I can start to, in a healthy way, begin to disassociate my identity from it. I'm not the sad person. That's not who and what I am. I am aware of this sensation called sadness. And a lot of times I don't even use words like sadness. I get to a very basic movement in stomach, aliveness in gut. That's what's happening. That's reality without a story. So once I can get to that place and I start to relax and really let myself be in the emotion, then I start the inquiry process. I love Byron Katie's 4 questions. They're incredible. It's a great way to, write. Sometimes that's enough. I'll just say that, by the way. But sometimes you really need to identify the belief and question if it's true, if it's a fact, or if it's just a belief. So there's the 4 questions of Byron Katie, which is it true? Can I absolutely know that it's true? What do I do when I believe that thought? And who would I be without the thought? Really beautiful questions. Why I love them so much is when I believe the thought and I bring light to what I do, it shows my entire life. If I can envision myself without the thought, that shows me an entire new life. And it shows me that the crux of my life depends on me believing or questioning my thinking. So it's going from a closed mind and closed heart to an open mind and open heart, in which we can see a totally new possibility. And that feels like freedom. That feels like peace. And that's synonymous to being. So when you get to the question, who would I be without this thought? If I couldn't believe that I'm unworthy, who would I be without the thought in this situation? Oh, I'd just be myself. Well, when we all say the same thing, freedom, peaceful, myself, that's because we're all describing our shared being, our shared awareness, the one, right? And then the qualities of that one shared awareness. And so you can use the thought, you could use the emotion, get in touch and kind of dissolve the emotion, identify the thoughts, question if they're true. And this is where, I can give you the 4 questions of Byron Katie, but if you don't actually do the work yourself, you can really stay on the surface with things. So it takes a certain understanding and practice to really learn how to dig and find what's underneath the surface and bring those into the light. And really, it's like in A Course in Miracles, it says, don't attempt to purify yourself and then come to me. Come to me, I'm the purifier. So what does that mean? My job isn't to get rid of the beliefs. My job isn't to heal myself. My job is to expose them in the light of my awareness. And just like turning the light on in the dark, the light and the dark don't have to battle. Just lights on. So as long as I'm allowing myself to just bring these thoughts and emotions to the light of my awareness, I will slowly trace myself back into just pure being. And then we experience peace, happiness, relief, or whatever it may be. So there's a summary of how it works.